What is Six Wunderkinder about? Well, we are a young startup. We're about a little over a year old. We created a task management tool called Wunderlist, which I think is very innovative in a sense that it's multi-platform and cloud synced. So people can pick up their task management tool on their Android or on an iOS device, desktop, web, you name it. We've just reached 1.3 million users, and we had a faster growth rate than Twitter, Foursquare, Evernote, so we're pretty happy about that. But now we are kind of getting ready to launch our next product called Wunderkit, which is a kind of revolutionary productivity platform. And the reason why it's different is for many reasons. We think, you know, in this day and age, you have Facebook, right? You go online, you share opinions, pictures, thoughts, but how often do you actually get to collaborate with a friend and work on a project? So we kind of want to inject the social and fun aspect of social networking into more of a productivity area. We've tried Basecamp, Evernote, Asana, Podio, a lot of different platforms out there, and we kind of want to take the best of what's out there, of course add our own innovative ideas, and of course have a really intuitive UI design. We like to keep things super sexy with our brand and image, and hopefully everyone will fall in love with it. Yeah, you know, I do everything from writing blog posts to pitching stories to the press to attending conferences and really representing the company and the brand and the reputation. Okay, I guess it's the reason why we have so many people adopt it. It's very simple to use. I could teach you how to use it in less than a minute. When you have a product that's very straightforward, not overcomplicated, just keeping it simple, people like you will easily adopt it, right? And I think more and more we've realized that paper is really not the future. You know, like we have to all kind of go green and think about maybe working with digital tools rather than scribbling down paper and then tossing it out. So yeah, I think those were probably the two selling points to convince you to use Wunderlist. Well, there's a notes feature within a list. So if you create a list of tasks, right, you can easily click a note page and then quickly type your, you know, your little ideas. But I can see your point. It's not as tangible. You don't get to feel it and work.
It's the overview that is missing on digital devices.
Yeah, and that's something we're always considering. Like, how can we get you to switch over? So we'll continue to add more features down the road, making it more and more simple for you to keep track of your tasks every day. Yeah, you are able to share lists and tasks with friends. I recently spoke with a user of Wunderlist, and he was really suffering from mental and physical handicap. So he wrote his story to us talking about how Wunderlist totally transformed his life. He was able to set reminders to take his medicine, to stretch, exercise, and then if he would forget to do these things, he could share the list with one of his relatives. And that was a way for him to really keep track and make sure that he was getting everything done. So it can be a pretty powerful tool in that kind of collaborative sense. Yes, this is sort of the catch-22. I would love to be able to talk more about it. We've kept it really under wraps for a while. I mean, obviously it creates buzz, but there's a lot of reasons why we don't want to share all our information yet. We're hoping to launch in late 2011. I would hope for next month. But it is really one of these platforms that I think people could easily adopt and figure out how to use. I've tried all of them out there, and to be fair, I really think this is kind of the future of productivity. We want to carve a new path on how people work online. So we're going to make it easy for you and your film crew to coordinate and create, you know, editorials and ideas for stories and interviews.
Yeah, me first.
My favorite Berlin startup, other than Six Wunderkinder, I have to admit, I know SoundCloud gets a lot of coverage, but I love SoundCloud. And the reason is they've kind of reinvented the way the music industry works. If you think about before, a lot of times artists had to work with a major music label, and I had experiences working for music labels in New York. And it's really a huge barrier for a lot of artists. So if they can distribute their music easily, or have like a 8-hour mix that they created, and they want people to kind of communicate their thoughts about each section of a mix, it's really kind of bringing a social layer to music and empowering the artist with their audience. And if there are more kind of companies like this down the road for the music industry, I think there's a great future for it. It's not dead, and I have optimism. Oh, come on now. I would never shoot anyone. I'm not violent in any shape, way, or form. But if I were to challenge someone, I would love to have a roundtable discussion with the Zamba brothers. I realize, okay, people like Mike Butcher said, let's stop talking about it. But really, you do have to kind of continue this dialogue, because a lot of Europeans have been kind of known for copycatting. More specifically, Germany got a bad reputation, and it had largely to do with, well, the brothers kind of copying business models that already existed in Silicon Valley. And oftentimes when I request an interview or try to get a hold of their PR, they always shut me down. So if they're listening and if they might come across this video, I'd love to talk about the future of entrepreneurship in Germany. That's a really good question. One startup other than 6 Wunderkinder. I think it would be fun to work for maybe food spotting in New York City. It's a young female entrepreneur. Her name's Soraya Darabi, and she created a cool app that's also multi-platform, where you can document food around the town. I'm a big foodie myself, so it'd be fun. New York has awesome restaurants, and I think she's got a great product, so I think that's the one I can think of off the top of my head. Oh, how did I get to 6 Wunderkinder? Yeah. I've been living all over the world. I worked for the government, I worked for nonprofits, I worked in so many different fields, but in the end I realized I want to start my own company, and I think Berlin might be a great city for me to do that. And right now I'm really learning what it takes to run a company, how you manage teams, how do you scout for talent. And I really admired the 6 founders that we have, the 6 Wonder Kids, because each of them plays such an integral role in the company, and it would take me years working for a big corporation to learn what I have in 3 months at 6 Wunderkinder. So I think in the end, I made the right decision, and Berlin's an awesome place. There's a ton of innovation. Investors are starting to fly in. So it's a bit of luck, but yeah, I'm happy where I am right now. Passion? Passion means really believing in an idea and following it through. Not half-assing something. You have to throw your whole self into building product, or building a nonprofit organization. Whatever you want to do out there, just work 100% to get it done. As I find a lot of times that I meet people who have an idea, they kind of get halfway there, but then they let it drop. And I think it's because they lack that passion to see it through. So yeah, that's largely what it means for me. One last project. Okay, I'd love to make a documentary film about North Korea. There's several that have been made. It's very dear to my heart, the issue and the politics that are going on in East Asia, but specifically North Korea. I think there's not too many people around the world that have any clue of what's going on in that region of the world. So I've met with a lot of refugees, I've met with a lot of policy thinkers, political leaders, and I think I could really create a well-rounded documentary to really focus in why South Korea is the way it is and why North Korea is kind of stagnant and stuck. So that would be my last project. Okay, obviously I want to start my own company down the road. I have like a myriad of ideas that I'm still working out, but like you've seen here, you really have to have market disruption. You have to solve a problem. You have to be able to scale your technology or your idea all around the world. It's not an easy task to do, but if you find the right people to work with and you find the right team, that's what I'm doing now, is looking for the right people I'd want to collaborate with. You can achieve anything, really. So yeah, main goal is to get my own company going in the next few years.